us. Hi, my name's Haley. I will be guiding you through your 60-minute vinyasa flow this afternoon with Maydwell Yoga, or this morning, or whenever you're joining us. So today we're going to get started in Supta Baddha Konasana, so reclined bound angle pose. Go ahead and come to lying down on your back. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together to touch. And just let your knees fall out wide. You can place your arms by your sides or maybe rest them on over your solar plexus, just above the navel, below the ribs. And you might just explore with your feet, whether bringing your heels closer to your pelvis or farther away from your pelvis feels better right now. Just allow yourself to settle in here, get comfortable, come to a place of stillness. We'll start to deepen our breaths, breathing in and out through the nose. Closing the eyes if they're not closed already. Begin to soften your jaw. Soften the shoulders and the arms. Relax the legs. Relax the belly. And if you notice some intensity of the inner thighs right now in this pose, you might send your inhales to that space. It's letting go of the day. Using your breath to guide you to this present moment. Slowing down the mind. Connecting to your body. Some days that's easier than others, and that's okay. What's most important is you're just meeting yourself where you are today. Each moment, each breath comes a new opportunity to find acceptance, surrender, and be where you are. You might notice the hips starting to relax here, your knees getting closer to the ground. We're going to take a few collective breaths together just to release what no longer serves us right now, to let go of something. Wherever you are in the breath, open the mouth, exhale all the air from your lungs. Take a big inhale in through your nose, send the breath deep down into the belly, let it rise. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth, exhale, let it all out. Another deep, long inhale in through your nose. Pause at the top. Open your mouth, let it go. One more deep breath in, maybe taking in an extra sip of air once you've reached the top. Hold it here. And let it go as you exhale. And just find your natural rhythm of breath. In and out through your nose. If you'd like to introduce that Ujjayi breath now, feel free, starting to work up that internal heat. We'll take our hands to the outside of the knees or thighs and gently bring your legs in together. So knees touching, moving really slow here. There's no rush. Plant the bottoms of the feet into the mat. And we'll just windshield wiper the knees right and left. Doing this a couple more times, releasing the low back. Windshield wiper your knees to the right, all the way down to the mat. We're finding a nice supine twist here. If you'd like to bring your arms out to a T and gaze over your left shoulder, that's an option. Deep breath in. Exhale, use your core to bring your knees through center and all the way to the left. Gazing over the opposite shoulder. Inhale deeply. Use your core as you exhale, knees through center. And then we'll bring both of the knees up into the chest, hands to shins. Give yourself a gentle rock side to side. Reach the hands down to grab the outer edges of the feet. Happy baby. You can continue your gentle rock side to side. Maybe you ninja baby. Right leg goes straight, left knee bends. And then ninja baby to the other side. Right knee bends, left leg goes straight. Coming back through center, we're going to set up for dead bug pose. So we bend both of the knees. We're going to take our hands, interlace them behind the nape of our neck here. Try to get your shins parallel to the mat best you can. You can point or flex your toes. Feel your low back pressing into the mat. That's going to help activate your core and keep from overarching the low back. So we really want the core to work here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, the right elbow is going to cross over towards the left knee. Try not to move the legs. Inhale back to center. Shoulders are lifted off the mat. Exhale the left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, right elbow knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite elbow, opposite knee. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Last 2. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Last set. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Now on your exhale, we're going to release the hands up overhead just like this. See if you can extend your legs out straight, and you're going to lower them down only as far as your low back stays connected to the mat. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to chest, hands to shins. Exhale, extend the arms overhead, legs go out long, straight. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, extend and hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, extend, hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to chest. This is the last one. Exhale, extend and hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to chest. Nice job. Give yourself a rock side to side. Couple options, we're gonna meet in tabletop. You can roll over to the right or left, or you can rock and roll the length of your spine, cross the ankles, and kick back to your tabletop pose. Finding yourself in the center of the mat here. Working through some cat-cows. So when you inhale, drop the belly, crown and tail to sky. Exhale, tuck and round cat. Inhale, cow pose, belly low. Exhale, cat pose. Take a few more rounds of cat-cow to your breath. Maybe closing your eyes along the way. If you want, you can introduce some organic movement. Barrel roll through the ribs. If you want to work into your wrists, you can flip your palms, fingertips towards the knees, and maybe just shift forward and back a couple of times. And take some circles around the wrists, one way and the other. Two more breaths. All right, then we find ourselves back in neutral tabletop. From here, we're gonna find puppy pose. So you're gonna slide your hands all the way to the top of the mat, forehead down, or maybe your chin can come to the mat. You also have the option for a block under your forehead. Notice if your ankles and tops of the feet are lifting away from the floor. See if you can press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Notice how that kind of forces you to activate your core here by drawing the navel in. That might mean coming out of the pose just a bit. Feeling the shoulders open. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Slowly slide forward, finding Sphinx pose. So belly to mat, elbows underneath shoulders, tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, chin to chest. Hold it here. Let the head be heavy here. Just getting that nice stretch to the back of the neck. Come back to neutral, gaze forward. And then slowly bring the gaze over the right shoulder. Hold it here. Feel your elbows drawing back and your chest reaching forward. Gently drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, gaze over left shoulder. Back to center. Chest is going to lower all the way down to the mat. Go ahead and extend your right arm out to a T. Left hand underneath left shoulder. Bend your left knee. Roll over onto your right side. Left foot is going to plant down behind you. You can also stack the left leg on top of the right. Broken wing pose. Inhale. Exhale, roll onto your belly. Left arm extends out to that T, right hand underneath the shoulder. Bend the right knee. Push yourself onto your left side for broken wing. Same options with your feet here. Deep breath in. Exhale onto the belly. Both hands under the shoulders. Press yourself into tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take that right leg, kick it back, bend the knee, and we're just going to take some circles through the knee here. They might just be small circles to start, a few times forward, and a few times back. Extend that right leg long. And then we're just going to take that right foot, sweep it all the way out in front of us, finding a low lunge. Inhale, hands to sky. As you exhale, find a bind behind the low back. So interlace the fingers behind your sacrum. Keep your gaze forward if you want to stay neutral, or you can begin to lift the gaze towards the sky for a little back bend. Feel your hips get heavier. Arms are nice and active here as both hands are punching towards the back heel. Inhale. Exhale, release the bind, find half splits. Right toes lift. If you want a little bit more room, you can gently push the right heel forward. And maybe you windshield wiper your toes, your right toes out and in a couple of times. Massaging through that right hamstring. If your heel came forward, draw it back. Set the foot down, find your low lunge again. Your back foot is going to swivel towards the right edge of your mat. Then you're going to rise, shoulders over hips. Bring your hands behind the nape of your neck, interlace your fingers here. Find a slight squeeze in your glutes. If this feels like a lot of pressure in your left knee, tuck your left toes. You can even fold a towel under your left knee. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're crunching right elbow to right knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, crunch. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, really squeeze your obliques. Inhale. Exhale for 4. Last inhale. Exhale, you're going to pause and hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Release into side angle. So you can drop the right hand down to the mat or a block. Left fingertips to sky. You can also bring your right forearm to the top of the thigh. You're finding what works for your body right now. Allow yourself to get a little bit deeper in your lunge. So shift your hips forward. It's okay if your knee goes past the ankle. If you'd like to take a wrap, left forearm comes behind the low back. See if you can tuck those fingertips into the hip crease. Get the sensation of drawing the left shoulder back, keeping the heart open. Deep breath in. Audible exhale. On your breath in, rise, shoulders over hips. We're going to bring those arms out to a T. As you exhale, we're finding modified side plank. So your left hand drops to the back of the mat. Right fingertips reach to the sky. Adjust your right foot so that right leg could be nice and straight here. You have the option to float the right leg. You can also bend the knee, reach back and catch the foot for modified half moon. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Release the foot if you have it. Gently set the right foot down. Circle sweep the hands all the way back to the top of your mat, hands framing the front foot. Setting up for lizard lunge, we're gonna heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Tuck your back toes, squeeze the back leg straight for a low lunge. Find a little bit of movement here. We can work the hips around in circles. Maybe shift forward and back, bend and straighten the front leg. Moving into horizon lunge, you're gonna roll to the knife edges of both feet. So all 10 toes are now facing right. Your right hand can stay on the mat, or you can bring the right hand to the inner right thigh. And again, find some movement here. You can work the hips forward and back, maybe lift the hips up and down a couple of times. All right, let's go ahead and release the right hand back down. Find your low lunge. Set the right foot back to plank, and we're gonna hold it here for 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tabletop, drop the knees. All right, we do the same thing with the left side. So extend the left leg back, bend the knee, and we'll take a few circles through the hip forward. And a few circles back. Inhale, left leg goes straight. Exhale, step it forward between the hands, find your low lunge. Inhale, crescent V, rise, hands overhead. Exhale, find your bind. Allow the hips to get heavy, sink them forward and down. And you either gaze forward or we lift the gaze towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, half splits. Lift the left toes. Give yourself some room if you need to scoot that front heel forward. Option to windshield wiper the left toes out and in. Draw the heel back. Set the left foot down, find your low lunge. This time, right toes are gonna swivel to the left edge of the mat. Rise shoulders over hips. Hands are gonna come behind the head, interlace the fingers. Take a breath in. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, crunch. Keep drawing the right shoulder back, heart stays lifted. Inhale. Exhale, crunch. 2 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale to crunch. Last one, inhale. Exhale, crunch and hold for 3, 2, 1. Side angle or modified side. Hand to the mat or a block. Forearm to thigh, right fingertips to sky. Allow your hips to sink forward. Really use the leverage of your left bicep pressing into your left knee to open up through that hip. If you want to find the wrap, right forearm drops behind the back, working those fingertips into the hip crease. On your inhale, we rise, arms are out to a T. Exhale, side plank, right hand down, fingertips to sky, and straighten through your left leg. Engage your glutes, push the hips forward. Maybe you float the left foot. Maybe you take modified half moon, bend the knee, reach back and catch the foot. You have 3, 2, 1. Slow and control, release the foot, set it down. Circle sweep the hands all the way back to the top of your mat. Working our way into lizard. Left foot comes to the left edge. Tuck your right toes, squeeze the right leg straight. And we work through the hip on this side, just taking big, slow circles. Maybe shift forward and back. You can bend and straighten the front leg. Setting up for that horizon lunge, you're going to roll to the outer edges of both of your feet, all 10 toes facing left. Option to keep the left hand down or bring it to your inner left thigh. And again, you can be still or you can find some movement here. So whether that means rocking the hips side to side, up and down, up to you. And eventually we'll work the left hand back down to the mat. We're going to step the left foot back, find plank, and we hold it here for 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop to your knees. Push your hips towards your heels. Find child's pose. Giving yourself a few deep breaths. Extending your exhales longer than your inhales. Just relaxing back into the breath, into the body. All right, so we're getting ready for our flow sequence here. We're going to take it 3 times. The first set, we're going to move a little bit slower to familiarize ourselves with it. See what works, see what doesn't. Second time, we're going to introduce the breath. So then we get to see where we inhale and where we exhale. And then the third time around, we're flowing. We are in flow state. If at any point in time you need a break, a breather, just a moment to reset yourself, you can find yourself in child's pose. But as always, you take what you need, you leave what you don't. Before we get started, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And then open mouth, exhale to release. Let's do that again. Inhale. Let it go. All right. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to sky. This is our first time in down dog, so let's start pedaling the feet. Just finding a little bit of movement in down dog here. Then finding some stillness Arms are strong and straight. Press into the knuckle bones of your palms. Press so much into your palms, your hips are forced to lift even higher. We want a nice flat back. If that means bending your knees, that's okay. Heels can be high. We really want the spine to find that nice decompression so we can bend the knees, allow the hips to get higher, drawing the chest towards the thighs, armpits rotating in. Take a deep inhale, let it go. Inhale, the right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward and through, find a runner's lunge. Back heel drops to the mat. Use your inhale to lift you into warrior one. Pinkies draw in. Checking in the foundation, notice if your back heel is lifted or the outer edge of the foot is lifted from the mat. We really want the back heel to be on the floor, and we want to seal the outer edge of that back foot down. You should feel the arch of the foot lifting. Back leg strong and straight. Quad is flexing in that left quad to push the front left hip forward. Right hip draws back. Maybe get a little bit deeper in your lunge. Take a breath in. Exhale, bind, hands behind the low back. So we're familiar with this. Take an extra inhale, punch the floor, lift the heart for the back bend. And as you exhale, we find humble warrior. We're bowing inside of the front knee. Palms to sky, gaze is at your left heel. Sweep your right hip back towards your left heel. Try to keep the hips square forward. Breathe. Release the bind. As you inhale, we're going to find crescent A. So the left heel lifts. Both of your hands come up overhead. Kick off of your back toes. Allow your hips to push forward as you get deeper in your lunge. Hug the low ribs in. Sink lower. Inhale. On your exhale, step forward to fierce pose. So your toes are touching. There's a slight space between the heels. Lift all 10 toes. Feel the weight pivot into your heels. Sink down. Inhale your hands to heart. Lift the chest. Exhale, hook your left elbow to your right thigh. Prayer twist. See if you can drop your hips a little bit further down. Try to keep your knees in one line. Use the leverage of the palms pressing together to work your hands towards your sternum. 3, 2, sink lower. 1, inhale, rise, extended mountain pose, hands overhead. And exhale the arms down by your sides. We have a few breaths here. If you don't feel dizzy, maybe close your eyes. Otherwise, just find something to hold your gaze. Open the eyes. On the inhale, it's one leg mountain. Your left leg is going to lift with you. Find flexion through the left ankle. Try to get your knee in line with your left hip. Navel is drawing in for some core activation. Fingertips actively reaching to the sky. Lots of lift here. Inhale. Exhale, slowly sweep into warrior 3. There's no rush through this. Slow and steady movements. Drop your left hip down in line with the right. See if taking a bend in your right knee helps you find your balance. Pinky side edge of the foot is reaching towards the floor. See if you can lift that left heel a bit higher. You have 3, 2, 1. With control, drop the left toes down. Inhale, crescent A. Exhale, flying crescent. Sweep the arms back, palms face down. Torso 45 degrees to the mat. Inhale, star pose. Circle sweep the arms open to face the edge of the mat. Take a few moments here, some big breaths in, maybe open mouth exhales, give yourself permission to take up space. Last breath in here. Exhale, hands to heart, goddess pose, walk out your feet. We're going to take the hands to the inner thighs here, press the knees out, see if you can drop your hips lower. Take an inhale through center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, gaze left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder drops, gaze right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, star pose. Wide leg fold on the exhale. Bring your toes in so your feet are parallel. You can walk your feet out so the distance between both of your feet is longer. You have some time here to play if you want to go upside down. You can take some side lunges, bending into the right knee and into the left knee. Maybe you take a twist. You can reach your right hand to your left ankle and find a forearm wrap, left arm behind the low back, just like we did earlier. We just make sure to take it to the opposite side. Left hand grabs right ankle, and then right forearm wrap behind the back. We have about 3 to 5 more breaths here. If you're inverted, begin to make your way feet to the mat. Couple more breaths. Last inhale. Exhale the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press halfway. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, warrior 2, facing the front of the mat. As you exhale, get deeper into the front knee. One long line of energy from front fingertips to back. Find a slight tuck of your pelvis. Soften the sides of your neck. Go lower. Inhale, reverse your warrior. If you want to take reverse triangle, right leg goes straight. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale into that side angle. So again, we've been here before. Find your variation of side angle. Hand to the mat or a block. Modified. If you want to take that wrap or even find a full bind, that is an option here. 3, 2, and 1. Release both of your hands down to frame the front foot. Step it back to plank. You can vinyasa or skip it and go to down dog. Down dog is where we meet. 2 breaths here. Last breath. Left side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through. The back heel. Inhale, rise, 1 more. So same shape, different side. Make any minor adjustments you need to. Shorten your stance, widen the stance. Squeeze your right glute. Coax that right hip forward. Left hip draws back. See if you can sink lower. Breath in. Exhale for the bind. Inhale, back bend. Exhale to humble. So the goal of humble warrior is to let the torso be heavy. The legs are doing the work. In order for this to happen, we want to get that sensation of squeezing the inner thighs together. So remember, that left hip is swinging back. Right leg strong and straight. Right hip working forward. See if you can soften the shoulders, relax your jaw. Last inhale. Exhale. Release the bind. Inhale, rise, crescent A. Lift your right heel, get high on those back toes. And as you exhale, hips get heavy, sink forward and down. If it feels better to take a bend in the right knee, remember that's an option. Staying connected to the breath. Inhale. Exhale, step to fierce. Toes touching, space between your heels. Drop those hips down low. Challenge yourself. Squeeze your thighs together. Feel your feet pulling apart from each other. That's going to activate your glutes. Inhale your hands to heart. Lift the chest. Exhale, right elbow hooks left knee. Both knees in one line. Keep dropping your hips lower. Press your palms together. See if you can twist deeper. You have 3, 2, 1. Inhale, extend your mountain. Hands overhead. Exhale the arms down by your sides, palms face forward. Breathe. Closing the eyes. If it resonates, if it doesn't, just soften your gaze. Fluttering the eyes open. Finding our one leg mountain, we're going to inhale with the right leg. Finding flexion in that ankle. Challenging ourselves to get the knee and the hip in line with each other. Maybe the knee lifts higher than the hip. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, slow control to warrior 3. Palms flip down. Lift the tops of the hands to the ceiling, feeling that engagement through the triceps. Maybe a bend in the left knee feels good and helps you square the right hip down. You have 3, 2, 1. Slow control, right toes to mat. Inhale, crescent A. Exhale, flying crescent. Inhale, circle sweep to star. And we're gonna go right into goddess on the exhale, hips go low. And we're just gonna stay in goddess. If you wanna take a different variation, feel free. You can be still, you can find movement, but I want you to challenge yourself to sink your hips a little bit lower. Notice if you're leaning forward, I want you to squeeze your glutes, press the hips forward while pushing the knees back. Heart stays lifted. You're here for 3. Can you get lower for 2? You're lower for 2.5. And 3. Inhale, star pose. Forward fold on the exhale, bring the toes in. We have about half the time on this side. You can get upside down or just hang out, head below the heart. Find your breath again. One more inhale together. Side out. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Forward fold, exhale. Warrior 2 on the breath in, top of the mat. Exhale, reverse warrior or reverse triangle. Inhale back to warrior 2. And exhale into your version of side angle. You have 3 to 5 breaths here if you want to work through that bind. Last inhale. Exhale, hands to mat, step to plank, option to vinyasa. In downward facing dog. All right. So that's our flow. We're going to take it with the breath. Second time around. Checking time here. We're going to see where we are after this flow. If we have time, we'll go a third round. If not, you lucked out today. All right, we're going to flow. Before we do that, collective breath, inhale. Side out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, bind. Inhale, back bend. Exhale to humble. Inhale, crescent A. Exhale, step to fierce. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, hands overhead, mountain pose. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, one leg mountain with the left leg. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent A. Exhale, flying crescent. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, hands to heart, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, hands to mat plank. Option to vinyasa, down dog. Down dog is where we meet. Left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bind. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, humble. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, fierce. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, one leg mountain, right leg lifts. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, fly. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, plank. Option to vinyasa. Down dog is where we meet. I'm going to give us some breaths in down dog where, for the sake of time, we're not going to go through it a third time. But since you're practicing at home, if you want to take that flow again on your own, please do, and then come back for the cool down portion of our flow practice today. If you're with me in down dog, let's inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, sweep it through for pigeon pose. If this is a lot on the knees, take flip pigeon. You're going to come onto your back and take a figure four with the legs. If you're in pigeon with me, drop onto your forearms. Head is heavy. Maybe chest to mat. And you bring your right or left cheek down to the floor. Just begin that transition of slowing down. Moving fast, like we do in vinyasa, tends to be a little bit easier for most of us just because we live in such a fast-paced world. Moving fast kind of forces us to focus on one thing at a time, whereas when we slow down, the mind wants to continue to stay busy. We feel like when we slow down, we're not being productive, but actually when we slow down, we're giving the body the rest it needs. We're allowing the body to rest. And eventually the mind slows down and takes some time But again and again, we return to the breath. We follow the breath back to our bodies. And eventually our brain, as stubborn as it can be, feels safe enough to be in stillness. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Bring the hands under the shoulders, making our way out of pigeon on this side. And go through down dog. If you want to take a vinyasa or wild thing, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, when you're ready, we're going to take pigeon on the left side. If you're with me, it's an inhale to lift the left leg and an exhale to bring the left leg through. If you're on your back, just flip or find figure four with the opposite legs. Once you arrive, close your eyes. Self to fully surrender into this moment. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Slowly begin to make your way out of your pigeon. Taking one final vinyasa, wild thing if you did it on the other side. And eventually we're all going to go ahead and make our way down to the mat into a seated position. We're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana. So just like we did at the beginning of class, except from a seated position. So hips at the center of your mat, bottoms of the feet come together to touch. And again, your heels can come closer to your pelvis, or maybe you bring the heels farther away from your torso, whatever feels best. Let's take an inhale, sit nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're going to go ahead and fold over the feet. Let the head hang heavy. You might just rock yourself side to side here. Inhale, rise, shoulders over hips. Exhale, extend the legs out in front of you. Inhale, fingers to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Reach for the toes, ankles, shin, whatever is available. Again, head is heavy. Deep breath in. Exhale, let go of the feet. Rise one vertebrae after another. And then you're going to begin to recline all the way down on your mat. Try to move slow. Arms will rest by your sides. Allow the feet to fall open. If it feels better on the low back, you can bend both of your knees. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat, and then let the knees fall in together to touch. Close the eyes. Relax all the muscles in the face. Soften through the shoulders, the arms, the belly. Soften into your breath. There's nothing more to do now, yogis. You made it through your vinyasa practice. Allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to soak up all of the benefits you've cultivated through our time together today. We are ending our practice in Shavasana. You get up when you are ready. And as always, it's an honor to guide you through your practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.